call me, Mr. Chairman.
Wherever you come.
All right. Board, Mr. Chairman, members of the subcommittee, House Bill 2757 would clarify an ambiguity in the recount process for election to make clear that when you count each precinct, you can't come up with ballots later afterwards if you don't like the final result. So under current law, it says on line 102, there shall be only one redetermination of the vote in each precinct. And it goes by and says that at the conclusion of the recount of each precinct, you write down the number of all ballots cast. And then if there's questions, you can submit those to the court. But there was ambiguity in the law because there was a question in the 2017 election between Shelley Simon and David Yancey as to whether or not after all the precincts are counted, you could still come up afterwards and bring more ballots to the court's attention. And parties disagreed about whether that was possible, and the court said that was possible. The concern is that now that everyone knows that's possible, there can be gameplay where people hold back the ballots that they want to challenge and only challenge some of them, and then if they don't like the results, come in, surprise the other party, and put in new ballots that no one has ever seen before, or that officials have already said, we're not going to count those, and then they change their mind, which would kind of take away the idea of one redetermination of the vote for each precinct. So this bill clarifies the process. And it says very clearly that every time you get to a precinct, for each precinct, the heart of the bill is, actually all the bill is line 107 to 110. And what you do is you go to each precinct, and if there's a question on a ballot, you segregate those ballots. Those are the ones that you can submit to the court. But you have to segregate it at the time you look at that precinct. Once you close the precinct, only those ballots segregated can be submitted to the court. This prevents surprise, prevents people coming in with ballots later. Again, either party could do this, either side could do this. It's not a partisan bill. It's a bill, though, that makes clear that in the recount process, you look at precinct 1, you make your decisions. That person wins A, wins so many, that person B wins so many, and these ballots are disputed. You close that box, you go to precinct 2, and so forth, all the way through all the precincts. And then when all 23 precincts are counted, if your candidate loses by 1 or 3 or 5 votes, you can't come back and say to the court later on the next day, hey, we found there were ballots in precinct 6 that we want to bring to the court's attention. This just makes a very clear process and stops a lot of gameplay. And that's the heart.
Anybody on the committee have any questions or comments? Anyone from the audience wish to address the bill for or against? I don't think this, I think what this does is it prevents the candidate from advocating for certain ballots. Because whoever's looking at the ballot is not the candidate. The candidate should have an opportunity to say this ballot should have counted when someone maybe said it was defective. I also think that potential to disenfranchise a voter who was not able to have their vote counted for some because an individual or person subjectively decided that it should not have because it was defective.
I would just say that number one, the candidates choose to make the recount so they have their voices, eyes, and ears in the room. So for the candidate, that's their representatives who are doing it. And obviously, a candidate could sit there for every precinct and watch the recount and participate in the process. And for the voter, well, the voter has people on both sides. They say, one candidate says, I think it should be counted for me. The other candidate says, I think it should be counted for me. And if they disagree, it goes to the court. So I just respectfully disagree that either disenfranchises the voter or prevents the candidate who can sit there during the, and some candidates do, sit there during the entire recount process to go through and make their thoughts known. But I appreciate what Chairman said.
Okay. Anyone else from the committee have any questions or comments? Committee operates on motion. Delegate Landis.
Second.
All right, there's a motion. First motion was to report, there was no second. Motion was not live, there's a motion to table and a proper second. All members of the committee, please cast.
Parliamentary inquiry. Am I correct that even if I had a table that though that the motion made by Delegate Landis is a superior motion? Good. All right. Then I do a second.
Okay. So, a second? Well, I think it's too late now.
No, I appreciate the circumstance, but I just, it does no damage to my point of view.
Well, yeah, but it's, the time for a second's already passed, there's another motion.
I concede that point.
For the record, you're just saying you win.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. All right, so the motion is to table the bill, and all members will have to discuss it. Motion carries on number 3.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Required?
Oh.
If it didn't work.
Motion carries 4-2. Thank you.